Oh, really? Good morning from Brazil's Grocery Bluegrass. We're located here at 5109 Liberty Highway, Pendleton, South Carolina. I'm your host, Don, I'm your host today, Don. My co-host, Mark Stoudemire, is on assignment today, so I got a new co-host here today. Today is Wednesday, April 16th, 2025. The weather outside is 58 degrees with cloudy skies. The high today is supposed to reach 72 degrees with no chance of rain. A cool day in the upstate. It's beautiful outside. Our shout outs go to Jane, Heather, Josh, Carter, Blaine, Hampton, Hudson, Kenzie, Kim, Josh, Blakely, Grant, Sil, Heidi, Charlie, and Harper, and a longtime friend of mine in Florida, Mr. David Hall. So David, if you're watching, good morning, buddy. And of course, always loving Martin. Here at Brazil's Grocery Bluegrass, we have music lessons all week. Fiddle, classical fiddle, mandolin, bass, guitar, banjo. Anything with a string on it, we teach. And by the way, we have a new instructor for Fridays. Mr. Fred Breazeales teaches. So if you're free Friday, want to take some excellent banjo lessons, you can call me at 376-1482, area code 864. We have the best instructors in the upstate by far, in my opinion. And if you want information on lessons, instruments, or anything to that nature, you can call me at 864-376-1482, and my name is Don. By the way, while we're on, you can call me during this broadcast at 864-376-1482. We'll be glad to answer your questions if we can. If you would like to sponsor our show, just give me a call. There's no charge to be a sponsor, and a sponsor for today is Brazil's Grocery Bluegrass. You can also follow us on our social media pages, YouTube, Facebook. And if you go to Facebook, it's under Brazil's Grocery Bluegrass, and Instagram under BG Bluegrass. Click below, you're watching, click below, a little white thing in there. It says subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, helps us out. We sell hats, shirts, mugs. We also sell instruments, fiddles, mandolins, guitar, banjo, pretty much anything with a string on it. We sell it. Like I said earlier, our sponsor today is Brazil's Grocery Bluegrass. Okay, for today's show, I'm going to introduce you to a good friend, excellent musician, just a fine guy, Mr. Fred Breazeales, an accomplished banjo player and a great friend. Fred does a workshop once a month for all ages. Banjo, guitar, fiddle, bass, mandolin are welcome no matter the level of playing or singing. You're welcome to come, and it's free. So anyway, check us out. Good morning, Fred.
Hey, good morning, Don.
How are you?
Doing fantastic.
Yeah, that's great to hear, man.
Beautiful day.
Beautiful day in the upstate. Fred, my first question is, I'm going to ask you at what age you started playing banjo, how long have you been playing, all the places you've been to play, and all the people that you have played with in your career of banjo playing.
I don't know if we got enough time on the show to do all that.
Yeah. Well, we hit some of the highlights.
We'll just do the highlights. Yeah, so I started playing back when I was in high school. That's a number of years ago.
Yeah.
So, but my parents, they had a bunch of Homer and Jethro records.
What?
Homer and Jethro, Jethro Burns.
Oh yeah.
And so if you're not familiar with them, just Google Homer and Jethro. They did a little. There was slapstick comedy, fantastic musicians, but they had this humorous. They would revive all these country songs and bluegrass songs, and make little spins off the songs there. So I used to listen to a lot of that, and they had a bunch of the live records. Mm-hmm. And so I would listen to those all the time, kind of got into it. And originally I wanted to play the mandolin, like Jethro Burns.
Yeah.
And my cousin, Dave Watkins, I don't know if you're out there, but anyway, he said, no, I said, man, you want to play the banjo, not the mandolin. I was like, man, whatever,
Yeah.
And so I said, all right, banjo it is. So we lived in, that time grew up in Michigan, and the Gibson guitar and banjo. That factory was right down the road. We lived in Marshall, and the Gibson factory was right down the road. So you had all these musicians running around. There was a lot of bluegrass music in the area. I'll say, like my parents' age, back in probably the 70s, 60s, 70s, a lot of folks from Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee moved to northern Michigan or southern Michigan because they had all the automotive, the factories, and so Detroit had all the automotive stuff, and then scattered throughout the state, they had all these little parts where they'd like make mirrors or you know, accessories that would ship. So started playing. My cousin and I both got he got a guitar for Christmas, and I got a banjo, and we started taking lessons from a guy that was an electrician that he worked over at the Gibson factory, making hooking up and testing out all the electric guitars there and stuff. And that's how it started. So we were sitting around playing. My cousin and I were playing banjo and guitar, and we'd swap instruments halfway through the week. And
oh, really?
So that was in mid-70s, I guess. So
yeah, you're also a good guitar player. You can play guitar like nobody's business, just like that banjo. He's a very good musician. His wife, he's taught her how to play the bass, and boy, she can play that bass. And she sings
really well.
Yeah,
good
she
singer
sings
too.
Yeah, good singer. So he's teaching the family how to pick music. That's a good thing.
But so that got us through high school, and I guess my sophomore, junior, senior year, kind of playing. We were just playing around the house and a little bit around, pretty low key. Went to Eastern Kentucky University for college, and lots of musicians there. There was some fantastic.
And what was that again?
Eastern Kentucky, and that's in Richmond, Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
Eastern Kentucky University.
Yeah.
And majored in mathematics there. But there was some fantastic banjo players or musicians. Actually, I still kind of keep up with a number of them even today. It's been
really?
80 since graduated in '85, so it's been again a few years. We'll just say a few years.
Yeah.
Say bunches. So after college, and probably where I made the most progress was I got out of college, and so this is before the internet. All this I saw in the news. I was out in Texas, and I saw in the news where they had this college out there where you major in bluegrass music, and
in Texas.
In Texas, so it's in West Texas, level land. So if you go to Lubbock, where Texas Tech is, go probably another hour, 45 minutes west, and you can see it. I mean, there's nothing there. I mean, no trees, dirt, field, miles, flat land, level land is what it's called, and that's exactly what it is. But there's a little school out there, a community college, South Plains College, and you could get a bluegrass major. You can major in bluegrass music.
Oh, that's cool.
So I went out there and said, all right, I want to play the banjo. And Alan Munday was out there, and that was, I'll say, it was humbling, but it was also your skill level just skyrocketed because it was nothing was that's close enough. It was either it was right or you're getting.
So was Alan teaching there?
Yeah. So I'm sitting with Alan, once or twice a week, and he's saying, "Fred, go home, practice this." And it's really small. I mean, the whole town is small, so there's no going in there and saying, "Yeah, I practice 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day or 2 hours," because he knows how much I'm practicing. And so I was out there with him, Alan, for probably about a year and a half.
Wow.
And he was sitting there and saying, "No, hold it, change this," and he changed everything. He changed so much around the picks. I was holding the banjo, and I could play when I got out there.
And that's important.
Oh yeah.
Because I learned that early on, learning the banjo. It's important how you put your picks on, what kind of picks you use, and also how you hold the banjo, like this, up and down. I learned a lot, and I also learned something myself. You probably know this. I don't know. I told this lady about that, and she sent me a message. She said, and she was a good banjo player. We were out playing somewhere, picking, and I told her about it, and she texted me back. She said, that changed my whole picking style.
Oh, yeah.
And what that was, you see, when you hold a banjo, your picks, if you hold your hand like this, your picks are not hitting straight on the string. So I turn my picks just a little bit to the left, so when I pluck it, my picks hit directly on the string, not the side of the pick. Did you know that?
That was a really big thing at
Oh, really?
Allen would. I mean, you could kind of look at your picks and see where. I mean, playing up, you can see where you're striking the picks, and again, what type of picks you're using, the grade, the thickness, the strings. But with Allen, he was very focused on play it clean and play it in time, and it didn't matter if you played, played at that speed or one of these wide open train 45 blistering speed. If it was not clean, you did not get very far in the song where Alan just said, hold it.
Yeah.
And he wasn't mean about it. We just said, no, hold on, Fred, stop.
Yeah.
Let's slow it down. And I'm like, man, but this is good. He said, and back then we had cassette recorders. He'd hit record, play it, come back, and you're sitting right there, and he'd hit play, and he says, what do you think? Is that clean? And, there was no saying, oh, that's pretty clean. It's like, no. Because he would go, all right, let me record it.
Yeah.
And do you hear all that? He said, do you hear that when I'm playing it? He was like, no. All right, well, that's what we got to clean it up. So slow it down until you get it to the clean, and then you can.
Yeah. There's so many banjo players that when they're learning, they want to play it fast.
Oh, yeah.
And I was taught early on when I was learning banjo, you want to play it clean. Speed will come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and I still struggle with that sometimes. I'm not clean.
Well, and then the other thing that which is good about here, you've got the a couple sessions, the slow jam.
Yeah.
So you can kind of come in and play, and there's the slow. It's just more. It's a smaller group here, and it's. I think it's non-threatening as far as hey, take a break.
Yeah.
You can take a break if you don't. If you want to just sit back and play.
Yeah.
But playing with other people, because if you sit at home and you're just, and I hit the same thing, and then I'll sit there and play.
Yeah.
And I got this down pretty good. And then you go out to play with somebody, and next thing you notice, you realize that you left one note out for the last 2 months practicing this thing, and when you think you get to the one, that downbeat of the end of the solo, you're actually not on the beat.
Right.
You're in a different location. So
Yeah.
getting out there playing with folks and working on some songs, and especially getting with groups that are kind of in your same level, and definitely it helps to play with folks that are better than you, because you're going to hear things like, hey, how'd you do that? And they'll say, and I'll say 99% of the folks are really nice about it. I mean, you're going to have that 1% every now and then, but most everyone is, hey, here's how I do this. And
I have several people that they don't come anymore. So when they would come, I said, where you been? So one guy, I won't mention his name, he would say, played a mandolin and a guitar. He's a good musician. I can't play with those folks. I said, why not? They're just not my level. I can't play with them. Okay, but I kind of put a sour note in my mouth about the guy. Here people want to learn. It's an environment where everybody loves music, wants to play. Help him out. But he wouldn't. He would just leave. Cool. Another great musician, won't mention the name, lives south of town, plays the banjo like nobody's business, plays the guitar like nobody's business, plays the mandolin like nobody's business. The only thing I haven't heard him play, and they say he can play one not real good, is a fiddle. But he plays them all very well. Mm-hmm. And he would come up here and pick. Not in the circle, but when we do the stand up, he'd pick. And I wouldn't see him for a year, and he'd come, where you been? Well, you know, I'm used to high level picking.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's definitely it's fun to be in those jams that are really fun. But and then the other thing with here, even if you know someone, because it even during the Saturday night when they have the circle, I mean, you've got all levels there. And what I do sometimes, I mean, I guess if folks are watching, they'll find out. But,
yeah.
You know, if you got something that you're working on, some lick, you know, something that,
Yeah.
Because there's always something to work on. As you've got a built-in, I'll say band in the box, you got this rhythm
Yeah.
that it's every now and then it wavers a little bit, but for the
Yeah.
most part, it's pretty stable.
Yeah.
You can sit there and play that, practice that lick, you know, just
That's
as long as
right.
you're not blasting away with the
That's
thing.
right. That's right.
And kind of adding, and
Yeah.
it's a good time, and some great folks here
Yeah.
too.
You know, I'm learning banjo, and on Saturday nights, I always want to play a couple tunes in the circle. But the minute I sit down, somebody needs something, or I got to get up and greet people, so I don't get a chance on Saturday night to play my banjo. You know,
Yeah,
'cause I got to.
You're running around pretty
Yeah.
busy because
Yeah.
they'll get it
Yeah.
pretty full.
Yeah, it gets pretty packed in here. We've been having some big crowds lately, which is a good thing.
Yeah,
We've got new people coming in. I had somebody stop by yesterday, was driving by, and they saw my vehicle here, and they said, what do you guys do here? I brought them, gave them a tour. They were amazed. They said, we'll see you Saturday night. We'll be here, and we'll bring some friends. I said, yeah, bring them.
yeah. Well, you can put a plug. So we're getting close
Yeah,
to
yeah.
We're getting close to graduation
Yeah.
at Clemson, and Don here is the. I think you're the only one in the world
Yeah.
with these. So this is
Yeah.
a limited supply, but worked with Brian and Lisa Page up in. Actually, they just moved. So I knew Brian and Lisa back
Yeah.
in high school, but they've designed a Clemson bluegrass, or not bluegrass, but
Yeah.
a Clemson capo. It can be bluegrass, rock and roll, whatever. But
Yeah.
has the orange and purple. So if you've got a Clemson student that's graduating, perfect gift.
Perfect gift.
And these will last forever.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Very well built.
yeah, and they're top notch.
Yeah.
And you won't see another one of these. It's kind of funny because
Yeah.
folks will
Yeah, you won't. Yeah, the only one.
folks will see these and that are not Clemson fans outside of the state here or in the state, but they'll say, I can't stand Clemson, but I love the capo.
Yeah.
And all right, we'll let you get
Yeah.
away with that. You know?
Yeah,
But you know, they'll normally follow it up with I'm a USC fan or
Yeah.
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 North Carolina fan or something like
Yeah.
Alabama.
Yeah, they're great
And,
capos, and we got them on sale here, $40. It's a good price for those. So if you want one, just call me 864-376-1482 or stop by Breazeales Grocery Bluegrass. We have them here at the store. And if you like it and we need to ship it to you, we can ship it to you. Just give me a call.
You actually put a string on it. Even if you don't play, you got a string. You can put it on the Christmas gift, Christmas ornament.
Oh yeah.
dual purpose.
And even if you don't play, put it in a decoration in your kitchen.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, hang it on the wall. They're beautiful capos. Very, very well made as well. So, anyway, I got to make this announcement real quick. We got coming up. It's the Heading Home Bluegrass Festival. They started putting it on several years ago, and it's been very successful. This year, it's October 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th. 2025, it's in Hazelhurst, Georgia. Put it on your calendar. They have a wonderful lineup of bluegrass pickers. I'm not going to read them all, but boy, they got a heck of a lineup for that show. They have campgrounds. They have a covered stage pavilion. Shows rain or shine, 140 plus campsites. So if you're a camper, they got the campsites for you. It's a family bluegrass festival and picking party. So make sure to put that on your calendar. Again, that's October 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th, 2025. Make your way down to Heading Home Fest. I'm gonna Mark and I might try to make one day. Yeah,
That's a packed lineup.
yeah, yeah. So we'll see. And then we got Little Roy and Lizzie are putting on an event at the home place like they did last year. They do it every year. We go down for the day. I haven't got the dates on those, but it's coming up, I think. But I'll let you know when it is. Great show there.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. We saw them here last year, and Little Roy, I was like, my goodness, he puts on a show.
That guy's 82 years old.
Yeah.
He gets around better than I do.
I thought I was going to pull a muscle just watching him.
I know.
He's on there crawling on the floor, and I said, well, I've been there on that one there.
Yeah.
But, he's crawling under people's legs.
Crawls under people's legs, and he has these character outfits that he puts on for the kids, and I get a big kick out of that show. Yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, I went and spent a day a couple of times. I took people down there. Spent the day with Little Roy, and we go eat at Chicken Shack, and you go in his house, you would not know he's a musician. There's not one thing on the wall in the kitchen, living room, not one thing, bedroom, not one thing to tell you he's a musician of any sort. So we sat at the table, and he called Lizzie. Lizzie came over, got his banjo. They did a little picking there in the kitchen. So they said, "Come here, Don." So we went in this one room. He's got two recliners, a sliding glass door, big. And he's got a fountain that he built, a water fountain he built.
Huh.
And he sit there and he said, "See that chair right there?" I said, "Oh, Earl Scruggs had called me on a Friday morning and said, we're heading your way." So they would spend the weekend here with us. About every Friday he'd call me. He'd sit in that chair, just stare at that little fountain. I'd be walking, doing my thing, and then he finally would say, "Hey, Little Roy, come here." Yeah, I said, "Get me my banjo." Little Roy would open the case and gave him his banjo, and he said, "Get you something to play with. We're going to pick a little bit." We'd sit there and just pick forever and ever, just he and I, picking. So he took me back into his bedroom one day. Can't tell he's a musician. He got a little curio cabinet next to his bed in the corner. He opened it up. There was a little pouch. He opened it up and said, "Open your hand up." Poured 3 picks out in my hand. This was after Earl passed away. He said, "Earl gave me those. Those were his personal picks for the banjo." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm holding the Holy Grail in my hand."
Yeah.
Where
all the magic happened.
Yeah, I can't explain the feeling, but you know what I'm talking about when you have something in your hand that comes from a musician like Earl Scruggs, the famous in the world. You're holding them, I'm going, wow, that's cool. Those were on his fingers, and you could see where they had worn, picks had worn, It was cool. He put him back in a bag and put him in it, and then he's got, on the top of that curio cabinet, he's got 2 ties, and one of them says Lester Flat, and the other one says Earl Scruggs. Those bow ties with the little things hanging, He's got those hanging there. So, Lester Flat and Earl Scruggs, they didn't get along toward the end.
Yeah.
They were enemies. And they hated each other. Well, Earl didn't hate him, but Lester.
Had a little bad blood going.
Yeah. And one of these days I'll tell you the story that I got from their Dobro player. I read his book. Told me about his experience with that group. Wasn't good. So he said, "Earl, we got to go to the hospital because Lester's in the hospital. He's not in good shape." Okay, so Little Roy and Earl went to the hospital on the 3rd floor. He said, "Earl, you wait out here. I'm gonna go and talk to Lester." He was on his deathbed, and they were enemies. So he went in there and talked to Lester and said, "Lester, you don't have much time on the planet. You got to make yourself good with everybody." He said, "I got Earl Scruggs outside. I'm gonna bring him in. You guys make men's. How about it? He said, yeah, that'd be good. So he brought him in, and little Roy went outside, closed the door, and he said they were in there about 30 minutes. And here comes Earl. Opened the door, and I went in there. Earl put his arm around him and said, little Roy, we made men's. We're buddies again.
Well, that's good. That's
And
good.
he died shortly after that. I mean, it was almost like he was waiting for that to happen before he would leave. So that's a cool story.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, we might want to pick one if we're going to.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we're going to run out of time.
We
here.
got about 6 minutes. Yeah, we're going to pick a tune for you.
We'll have to have a series.
I'm going to stand up and pick.
No. All right. Well, you're younger than I am. I'm going to sit down.
I'm younger than you.
No. I don't think so, but it feels like it this morning.
Yeah. I got my pick in here somewhere. I can't carry it. I got my little side pocket filled with all kinds of junk. Can't find my picks.
Might have those Earl Scruggs picks in there.
Oh, that's a quarter. Actually, I do have some nice picks back there. Not much picking left in the pocket, but there it is.
You're kind of like a musician pulling stuff out of your pocket there.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
We'll do Blue Ridge Cabin Home, and then actually what I was going to look at was there's a roll for a backup that it kind of fits for all these bluegrass, I'll say Baptist hymnal kind of stuff there.
Yeah.
And it's the roll is actually 3-1, 5-3-1, 5-3-1. So that's the whole roll, and you can play that. And I also do a tag it with a 3-1, 5-3-1, 5-3-1, and then a forward reverse roll, which is 5-3-1, 5-1-2-3-1, and that gives you 4 beats. And then so you can go from like Blue Ridge Cabin Home is 4 beats in G, 4 beats in C, 4 beats in D, and then 4 beats in G again. So you kind of keep that roll going the whole time.
Yeah,
there.
keep it going. Yeah.
So we'll try that.
Good picking there, boy. Hope you like that. We got the best guy on the banjo right here. He's a heck of a musician, a heck of a banjo player. He plays guitar, bass, anything with a string on it. Mr. Fred Breazeales plays it. Again, if you want lessons Friday, call me 864-376-1482 and we'll get you connected with Mr. Breazeales. And if you're in the Seneca area, you can go to his home. You get
Well, that's kind of limited.
Oh, that's limited. So, yeah.
Yeah, Luann may not go for that.
Yeah, wife, not mine. Go. But just come here to the store Friday
Yeah.
morning. He'll be here. Just give me a call and we'll get you on the schedule.
We'll try to do some more of the, we've done some workshops that have been very successful. I think they've been a lot of fun with, we call them a bluegrass workshop. So you got guitar, so it doesn't matter if you play guitar, mandolin. Fiddle's a little bit fuzzy. I'm not a great, I'm terrible at fiddle, so I don't even claim to be a fiddle player, but mandolin and then banjo, we'll pick one song and say, here's the lead breaks on them, here's some backup, some ways to walk back and forth on some licks there in between there.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun there.
Cool. How many more minutes we got left? 1 minute?
One.
Okay, we're going to close it with a little Foggy Mountain Breakdown. Yeah, that was fancy ending there, Bo. Wasn't you?
Big endings there.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. We hope to see you next Wednesday, same time, same station. Bye, you folks.